The phone rings at 3:47 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and I'm under the hood of a Dodge Ram that smells like burnt oil and broken promises. My hands are black with grease, my back is screaming, and I've got a tow call in 20 minutes that I can't miss. I almost don't answer. I should have let it ring. Dad. Brandon's voice comes through the speaker, and there's something in it that makes me straighten up too fast. I crack my head on the hood latch. Yeah. I press the phone between my shoulder and ear, reaching for a rag that's almost as dirty as my hands. What's up? I'm getting married tomorrow. I freeze. The rag drops into the oil pan. Tomorrow? I say it like I didn't hear him right. Like maybe the connection is bad. Like maybe I'm having a stroke. Brandon, what are you? I withdrew all the money from your bank accounts, he says, and his voice is steady. Calm, like he's reading off a grocery list. And I sold the house. The closing happened this morning. You've got until Friday to clear out your stuff. The garage is silent, except for the hum of the fluorescent lights overhead. Somewhere outside, a seagull screams. Brandon, take care of yourself, Dad. He hangs up. I stand there holding the phone, grease smearing across the screen, and I start to laugh. It comes out of me like something broken, something that's been rusted shut for years and finally snaps. I laugh until my ribs hurt, until I have to lean against the workbench to stay upright, until the sound echoing off the cinder block walls doesn't even sound like me anymore. My son just told me he stole everything I own. My son just told me he's getting married tomorrow and I wasn't invited. My son just told me I'm homeless in 4 days. And I'm laughing because he has no idea what he just did. He doesn't know that the house was never mine to sell. He doesn't know about the blue folder in Evelyn's safe. He doesn't know that his mother, God rest her brilliant paranoid soul, saw him coming from a mile away. The laughter dies in my throat. I set the phone down very carefully on the workbench next to the socket wrench set Evelyn gave me for our 15th anniversary. My hands are shaking. I need to think. I need to move. I need to... My phone buzzes. Text message. Unknown number. Hi, Mr. Mercer. This is Simone Park, Brandon's wedding coordinator. Just confirming you're not on the guest list per the bride and groom's request. Security has your photo. Please don't attempt to attend. Have a blessed day. I read it twice. 3 times. The exclamation points feel like little knife wounds. Security has your photo. I pull up my banking app with fingers that barely work. The screen loads. My checking account balance appears. 0.10. Savings. 0.10. The business account, the one that pays my drivers and keeps the tow yard running, the one that has 32 years of careful deposits and cautious withdrawals. 0.10. I sit down on the concrete floor of the garage because my legs stop working. The cold seeps through my jeans. A puddle of antifreeze is spreading slowly toward my boots, bright green against the gray, and I watch it move like I'm not really here, like this is happening to someone else. My phone rings again. I look at the screen. First National Bank. I don't answer. It rings again. Same number. Again. I answer. Mr. Mercer? A woman's voice, professionally concerned. This is Jennifer from First National. We're showing several overdraft attempts on your primary checking account. Your mortgage payment was declined this morning, and we have 6 auto-pay transactions that... How much? My voice comes out flat. I'm sorry? How much was withdrawn? Total. A pause. Keyboard clicking. It appears that 3 transfers were initiated yesterday evening, authorized through your mobile banking app. The total amount withdrawn was... More clicking. $147,612.18. The 18 cents is what gets me. Brandon took everything down to the loose change, cleaned me out like he was scraping the last bit of peanut butter from the jar. Those transfers were fraudulent, I say. Sir, they were authorized through your login credentials with 2-factor authentication to your registered phone number. Do you still have possession of your phone? I look at the device in my hand. Yes. And your phone number hasn't changed? No, but then I'm afraid the transfers appear legitimate from our end. You'll need to file a police report for identity theft if you believe. My son did it. The words taste like battery acid. He had access to my accounts. He's been on them since he was 18, joint authorization. I never took him off. Silence on the other end, long enough that I think she hung up. Miss Jennifer? I'm here, Mr. Mercer. Her voice has changed, softer now, pitying. If the account was jointly authorized, then legally he had the right to... He stole everything I have. I understand this is difficult, but from a banking perspective, I hang up. My hand is still shaking. I try to steady it by pressing my palm flat against the concrete, but the tremor runs deeper than muscle. Brandon was on those accounts because Evelyn insisted. "If something happens to you," she'd said, folding laundry in our tiny bedroom, sorting my work shirts from Brandon's school uniforms, "he needs to be able to access funds for emergencies." This was her emergency plan. Our emergency plan. The floor is very cold. I can feel it through my jeans, through my skin, settling into my joints like winter. I'm 52 years old. I owned a small tow and recovery business with 3 trucks, a lot full of impounded vehicles, and a garage that smells like burnt oil and broken dreams. I've got $1,200 in cash in my desk drawer upstairs. I've got a credit card with a $3,000 limit that's already half maxed. I've got a house that apparently isn't mine anymore. And I've got a son who just declared war. I push myself up off the floor. My knees crack like gunshots. The ram is still sitting there with its hood up, waiting for me to finish, waiting for me to fix it, waiting like the rest of the world expects me to just keep going. I close the hood, lock the garage, walk upstairs to the office above the bay where the paperwork lives in file cabinets that are older than Brandon. The stairs creak under my weight. Everything in this building creaks. It's like the whole structure is arthritic. The office is a disaster. Receipts scattered across the desk, coffee cups forming a small city of their own, a calendar from 2019 still hanging on the wall because I never got around to replacing it. There's a picture of Evelyn on the corner of the desk, trapped behind dusty glass in a frame Brandon made in 8th grade shop class. She's smiling. She's always smiling in every picture I have of her, like she knew something the rest of us didn't. Turns out she did. I open the bottom drawer of the filing cabinet, the one that sticks and requires a specific combination of pulling and swearing. Inside, buried under tax returns from 2018 and a folder of truck maintenance records, is a fireproof document safe. It's small, gray, locked with a combination I haven't used in 3 years. Evelyn made me memorize it, made me write it down in 3 separate places, made me promise I'd check it every year on her birthday. I haven't checked it once since she died. The combination is her birthday backwards. 19772 becomes 2791. The lock clicks open on the second try. Inside the safe is a blue folder, just like she said. The folder is the kind you buy at Staples, the cheap plastic kind that cracks if you bend it too hard. There's a label on the front in Evelyn's handwriting, black Sharpie, the letters precise and sharp. For Cal, if Brandon ever tries to take it all. My hands stop shaking. I open the folder. Inside is a single sheet of paper, typed, dated 3 months before Evelyn's diagnosis, before we knew about the cancer, before everything went to hell. It's a letter. Cal, it starts. No dear, no preamble, just my name, like she's sitting across from me at the kitchen table with her coffee cup and her reading glasses and her way of getting straight to the point. If you're reading this, Brandon tried to take everything. I knew he would. I saw it coming the day he turned 16 and started asking about the house value. I saw it in the way he looked at your business ledgers. I saw it in the way he talked about us like we were holding him back. I'm writing this because I love you, and I love him, but I'm not stupid, and neither are you, even though you like to pretend you are when it's convenient. The house is not in your name. It hasn't been for 6 years. I transferred it into the Mercer Family Trust in 2019, and the trust has specific rules about who can sign off on a sale. You can't. Brandon can't. Only the trustee can authorize a sale, and the trustee is Renee Walsh. You remember Renee? She's the one who did our estate planning. You're welcome. The business is also protected. It's in an LLC. Brandon can't touch it. He can't vote. He can't sell. He can't do anything except complain about it. The money in the accounts is harder. If he has joint access, he can take it. I told you to remove him when he turned 25. You said you would. You didn't. That's on you. But here's what you need to do right now. 1. Call Renee Walsh. Her number is on the back of this page. She knows everything. She's expecting your call eventually. 2. Don't panic. The house is safe. The business is safe. The money is gone, but money comes back. You're good at making money, Cal. You're terrible at protecting it, but you're good at making it. 3. Don't go to the wedding. I know you want to. I know you're probably thinking about it right now, about showing up and making a scene and proving you're not broken. Don't. Let him have his day. Let him think he won. 4. Wait. Brandon will realize the house sale isn't real when the closing falls apart. He'll realize the money is all he got. He'll realize he burned everything for $147,000 in a wedding he probably can't afford. And then he'll come crawling back. And you'll have a choice. I can't tell you what to do with that choice, Cal. I can only tell you what I hope you'll do. Let him fall. He needs to fall. He needs to hit the ground hard enough that he understands what he did. He needs to lose something that matters. I know you won't want to. I know you'll want to catch him because that's who you are. But if you catch him now, he'll do this again. Maybe not next month, maybe not next year, but eventually. Some people only learn when they hit bottom. I love you. I loved him. But I'm not here anymore, and you're the only one left who can teach him this lesson. Don't waste it. Evelyn P.S. The combination to the upstairs safe is your mother's birthday. Inside is the original trust paperwork and the LLC documents. You'll need them. P.P.S. I'm sorry I'm not there. I'm sorry you have to do this alone. I'm sorry for a lot of things. But I'm not sorry I protected what we built. And you shouldn't be either. I read the letter 3 times. Then I fold it very carefully and put it back in the blue folder. My phone is buzzing again. More texts, more calls, the bank, a credit card company, someone from the mortgage servicer. The world is catching up to what Brandon did, and it's screaming at me through a 3-inch screen. I ignore all of it. I flip the letter over. On the back, in Evelyn's handwriting, Renee Walsh, 207-555-8472. I dial the number. It rings twice. Walsh Legal Services, Renee speaking. Her voice is exactly the same. Sharp, no nonsense. The kind of voice that doesn't waste time on pleasantries. Renee, it's Cal Mercer. A pause. Then, it happened. Yeah? How bad? Accounts drained. He says he sold the house. Wedding tomorrow. Jesus. I hear her chair creak. Papers rustling. Okay. Don't do anything stupid. Where are you right now? My office, above the garage. Stay there. I'm coming to you. Don't talk to anyone. Don't sign anything. Don't go near your bank. Don't even think about going to that wedding. Evelyn said the same thing. Evelyn was smarter than both of us. I'll be there in 20 minutes. She hangs up. I sit at my desk, holding the blue folder, staring at Evelyn's picture. The coffee cups are still there. The calendar is still stuck on 2019. The world outside is still turning, still expecting me to fix trucks and answer phones and act like everything is fine. My son stole everything I have. My son is getting married tomorrow. My son thinks he won. I start to laugh again, but this time it's different. This time it's cold. This time it sounds like something breaking loose, something that's been chained up and buried deep and finally sees daylight. Brandon has no idea what's coming, but he will. Renee Walsh arrives in a silver Audi that looks out of place in my gravel parking lot. She's wearing a black pantsuit and heels that click against the concrete like a countdown timer. Her hair is pulled back tight enough to hurt, and she's carrying a leather briefcase that probably costs more than my monthly truck payment. She takes one look at me and says, "You look like hell." Thanks. When's the last time you ate? I try to remember. Yesterday. Maybe. She sets the briefcase on my desk, shoving aside coffee cups and receipts like they're radioactive. There's a diner 2 blocks from here. We're going. Renee? Not negotiable. You can't think on an empty stomach, and we need to think. She's already heading for the door. Lock up, you're driving. I don't argue. When Renee Walsh gives an order, you follow it. It's a survival instinct I learned during the estate planning sessions Evelyn dragged me to. We take my truck, a 2015 Ford F-250 with a dent in the passenger door and a radio that only picks up AM stations. Renee doesn't comment on the fast food wrappers on the floor or the smell of diesel that's soaked into the upholstery. She just buckles her seatbelt and opens her briefcase across her lap. The diner is called The Landing. It's a local place, the kind with cracked vinyl booths and waitresses who've been there since the Carter administration. The special is always meatloaf. The coffee is always burnt. The pie is always worth it. We slide into a booth in the back. Renee orders coffee and a Greek salad. I order coffee and don't look at the menu. Eat something, Renee says. I'm not hungry. I don't care. Order food. The waitress is watching us. Her name tag says Dottie. She's worked here for 30 years and has seen every kind of human disaster walk through that door. She looks at me like she knows exactly what kind of disaster I am today. Pancakes, I say, and bacon. Dottie nods and disappears. Renee pulls a file folder from her briefcase. It's thicker than Evelyn's blue folder. Much thicker. Let's start with what we know, she says, flipping it open. The house, 47 Seaside Drive. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, built in 1987. You and Evelyn bought it in 2001 for $115,000. Current assessed value is approximately $420,000. Sounds right? In 2019, Evelyn transferred the deed into the Mercer family trust. You signed the paperwork. Do you remember that? I try to pull the memory up. There's something there, hazy and distant. Evelyn at the kitchen table with a stack of papers. Renee explaining things in her lawyer voice. Me nodding and signing where she told me to sign because I trusted them both and I was late for a tow call. Barely, I admit. Typical. Renee slides a document across the table. This is the trust agreement. Read Section 4, subsection C. I read it. The legal language is thick and impenetrable, but the basic meaning is clear enough. The house can only be sold if the trustee, Renee Walsh, provides written authorization. Without her signature, the sale is void. So Brandon can't sell it, I say. Brandon can list it. He can accept offers. He can even schedule a closing. But when the title company does their research, they'll find the trust. And they'll need my signature to transfer the deed. Renee taps the document with one manicured fingernail, which they won't get. He said the closing already happened. Then he's lying, or he's stupid, or both. Renee pulls out another document. I checked the registry of deeds this morning. No transfer has been recorded. The property is still in the trust. The coffee arrives. It's as burnt as expected. I drink it anyway. What about the money? I ask. Renee's expression darkens. That's trickier. If he had authorized access to the accounts, the withdrawals are technically legal. You'd have to prove fraud or duress, and that's a long shot. Banks don't care about family drama. They care about signatures and authorizations. So it's gone. The money he already withdrew? Probably. But we can freeze what's left, if anything is left. We can also file emergency injunctions to prevent further transfers. It won't get the money back, but it'll stop the bleeding. Dottie brings the pancakes. They're the size of hubcaps, swimming in butter, with a side of bacon that could feed a small army. I stare at them like they're a math problem I can't solve. Eat, Renee says. I eat. The pancakes taste like cardboard, but I chew and swallow because Renee is watching me like a hawk, and I learned a long time ago not to argue with her when she uses that voice. Between bites, she walks me through the plan. First, she says, we file an emergency motion to freeze any remaining assets in your name. That happens today. I'll have the paperwork ready by this afternoon. Okay. Second, we notify the title company handling the house sale, if there even is a title company, that the property is held in trust and requires trustee authorization. Won't that just make him angrier? Probably, but anger makes people sloppy, and we want him sloppy. I take another bite of pancake. It's easier to swallow this time. Third, Renee continues, we document everything. Every transfer, every withdrawal, every communication. If this goes to court, and it might, we need a paper trail that shows exactly what he did and when he did it. Court? The word sits in my stomach like a stone. He stole $147,000 from you, Cal. That's not a family dispute. That's grand larceny. You could press charges. He's my son. He's a thief. We stare at each other across the table. Renee doesn't blink. She never blinks. I'm not sending him to prison, I say finally. Then what do you want? It's a good question. What do I want? Justice, revenge, an apology, my money back? I want my son back. The one who used to help me change oil in the garage when he was 10. The one who brought me coffee in the mornings before school. The one who called me dad like it meant something. But that son is gone. Maybe he's been gone for years, and I just didn't want to see it. I want him to understand what he did, I say. I want him to feel it. Renee nods slowly. Then we make him feel it. But we do it legally, carefully. No stupid moves, no public confrontations, no showing up at the wedding with a baseball bat. I wasn't planning on bringing a bat. Good, because security has your photo, remember? I remember. The text from Simone Park, the wedding coordinator, with her cheerful exclamation points and her casual brutality. Security has your photo. Please don't attempt to attend. My phone buzzes. I pull it out. Another text. This one from a number I don't recognize. Hey, old man, heard you got cleaned out. LOL, Brandon said you're basically homeless. Now that's rough. There's a laughing emoji at the end. The person who sent it didn't even bother to capitalize or punctuate properly. I show it to Renee. Her jaw tightens. Who is that? No idea. Brandon's friends are circling. This is what happens. She takes the phone from my hand, screenshots the message, and emails it to herself. Evidence. Everything is evidence now. My phone buzzes again. Another text, different number. Yo, Mr. Mercer, is it true you lost everything? That sucks, man. Brandon's wedding is going to be sick, though sorry you can't come. Then another. Heard Brandon owned you. How? And another. My mom said your son took your house. Is that real? They're coming in faster now. A flood of messages from numbers. I don't know. People I've never met. Strangers who somehow know everything about what happened and think it's funny. Renee takes the phone and turns it face down on the table. Stop reading them. How do they know? My voice is shaking again. How does everyone already know? Because Brandon told them, or his fiancée told them, or someone at the bank told someone who told someone else. It doesn't matter. Small-town news travels fast, especially when it's ugly. The waitress, Dottie, is refilling coffee at the next booth. She glances over at us, and I see it in her eyes. She knows. She's heard. By tomorrow, everyone at the landing will know that Cal Mercer's son cleaned him out and kicked him to the curb. I need air, I say, standing up too fast. The booth table digs into my stomach. Cal, just a minute. I need a minute. I push through the door into the parking lot. The air outside is cold and smells like salt water and old fish. The sky is gray. It's always gray here in the off-season, like the sun gave up sometime in October and won't be back until May. My truck is parked crooked across 2 spaces. I lean against the hood and close my eyes. This morning, I was a man with a business and a house and a retirement account. I was planning to buy new tires for the wrecker. I was thinking about taking a weekend trip down to Portland to see the Seafarers game. Now, I'm a man with nothing, a man whose son just announced to the world that he's weak and broken and easy to destroy. The door opens behind me. Renee's heels click across the asphalt. You good? She asks. No. Fair enough. She stands next to me, arms crossed against the cold. You want to know what Evelyn told me when she set up the trust? I open my eyes. What? She said, if Brandon ever does this, Cal won't fight back. He'll just let it happen because he loves that boy more than he loves himself. So you have to fight for him. You have to make sure he has something left to stand on when it's over. My throat is tight. I don't trust my voice. She knew, Cal. She saw this coming years before it happened, and she made sure you'd survive it. I don't feel like I'm surviving. You're standing. You're breathing. You're still here. That's surviving. Renee pulls her coat tighter. Now we move to the next part. We fight back. Not loud, not messy, but we fight. What's the next part? We go to the bank. We file the emergency injunction. We contact the title company. We make sure every legal door Brandon thinks is open slams shut in his face. And then? And then we wait. We let him twist. We let him realize that the money is all he got, and it won't be enough. How do you know it won't be enough? Renee smiles. It's not a kind smile. Because I looked up his fiancée's Pinterest board last night. Do you know what kind of wedding she's planning? I shake my head. The venue alone costs $35,000. The flowers are $8,000. The photographer is $6,000. The dress is custom, probably another $5,000 to $7,000. Add in catering, music, rentals, invitations, and all the other little details that add up, and you're looking at a wedding that costs north of $80,000. The number sits in the air between us like a bomb. He doesn't have $80,000, I say slowly. No, but he thought he was going to have $420,000 from the house sale. He thought he was set. He thought he could pay for the wedding, buy a new house, start his new life with his new wife, and never look back. But the house sale won't go through. Exactly, and when it doesn't, that $80,000 wedding becomes a problem. A big problem. The kind of problem that ends engagements. I start to see it. The shape of it. The way it could all fall apart. We're not just protecting what I have left, I say. We're making sure he loses what he took. We're making sure he understands consequences. Renee checks her watch. The bank closes at 5. We need to move. We get back in the truck. My phone is still buzzing with messages, but I don't look at them. I focus on the road, on the next step, on what Evelyn would want me to do. The bank is a brick building on Main Street, wedged between a hardware store and a pizza place that's been closed for renovations since 2018. We park in the lot behind it and walk in through the back entrance. The branch manager is a woman named Patricia Drummond. She's worked at First National for 23 years and handled my business accounts for the last 10. She takes one look at me and Renee and gestures us into her office without a word. The office is small and beige and smells like air freshener, trying very hard to cover the smell of old carpet. Patricia sits behind her desk and folds her hands. I'm very sorry, Cal, she says. I wish there was something we could have done. You could have called me, I say. The transfers were authorized through your mobile app with proper two-factor authentication. Our system flagged them as large transactions, but they met all the security requirements. We had no legal grounds to stop them. Renee leans forward. What time were the transfers initiated? Patricia types something into her computer. The first transfer was initiated at 11:43 p.m. on Monday night, the second at 11:47 p.m., the third at 11:52 p.m. And they all went to the same account? No. 3 different accounts at 3 different banks, all in Brandon Mercer's name. Smart, Renee mutters. Spreads the risk. Harder to claw back. Patricia looks at me. I really am sorry, Cal. If there's anything I can do... There is, Renee says, sliding a document across the desk. We need you to freeze any remaining accounts in Cal's name pending legal review. This is an emergency injunction filed with the county court. Patricia reads it. Her expression doesn't change. This will take at least 24 hours to process. Then start processing. There's a problem. Patricia types again. According to our records, the business account, Mercer Towing and Recovery LLC, is still active and untouched. But it's not in Cal's name. It's in the LLC's name, and Cal is listed as the managing member, not the owner. That's correct, Renee says. Evelyn set it up that way specifically to protect it from situations like this. So Brandon can't touch the business account? Not without dissolving the LLC or getting a court order, which he won't get. How much is in the business account? I ask. Patricia checks. $17,406. It's not much, barely enough to cover payroll for the month and keep the lights on. But it's something. It's a lifeline. Freeze it anyway, Renee says, just to be safe. Patricia nods and makes a note. Done. Anything else? Yeah. I lean forward. I want a list. Every transaction on my personal accounts for the last 6 months. Every withdrawal, every deposit, every authorization. I want to know exactly when Brandon started planning this. Patricia hesitates. That's a lot of data. I don't care. I need it. She types, clicks, types again. I'll have it ready by tomorrow morning. Today, Renee says. It's already 4:30. Today. Patricia looks at me. I nod. Fine, she says. I'll have it emailed to you by 6 p.m. We leave the bank and stand in the parking lot as the sun starts its slow slide toward the horizon. The sky is bruised purple and orange, the kind of sunset that would be beautiful if I was in the mood to notice it. What now? I ask. Renee checks her phone. Now I go back to my office and file paperwork. You go home and rest. Home. The word tastes bitter. You mean the house that Brandon supposedly sold? The house that's still legally yours until I say otherwise. Go there, lock the doors, don't answer the phone unless it's me, and for God's sake, Cal, eat something that isn't pancakes. She gets in her Audi and drives away, leaving me standing in the parking lot with my phone buzzing and my thoughts spiraling. I get in my truck and drive. Not home, not yet. I'm not ready to see the house, to walk through rooms that Brandon thinks belong to someone else now. I drive to the lot instead. Mercer Towing and Recovery, the sign says, in faded blue letters that I keep meaning to repaint. The lot is surrounded by chain-link fence topped with barbed wire. Inside are 2 wreckers, 1 flatbed, and about 30 impounded vehicles in various states of decay. It's not much, but it's mine. I park and walk through the gate. Locking it behind me, the office is dark. The garage is dark. Everything is dark except for the streetlight across the road that flickers like it's trying to send Morse code. I sit on the steps of the office and pull out my phone. The messages have slowed down, but they haven't stopped. One new text from an unknown number. Your son is a legend, LOL. I delete it. Another. Hey man, I know we don't know each other, but I just wanted to say that's rough what happened. Hope you're okay. I delete that one too. And then one more. This one from a number I do recognize. It's Brandon. Dad, I know you're upset, but this was always going to happen. You know that, right? You and Mom were never going to let me have anything, so I took it. I'm sorry it had to be this way, but I'm not sorry I did it. See you around. I read it 5 times. Then I type out a response. The house sale won't go through. You know that, right? I hit send before I can change my mind. 3 dots appear immediately. He's typing, waiting, probably laughing. The dots disappear. No response. I wait. Still nothing. I put the phone in my pocket and stand up. The sky is full dark now, and the wind coming off the water is sharp enough to cut. Tomorrow is Brandon's wedding day. Tomorrow he thinks he's starting a new life. Tomorrow everything is going to fall apart, and I'm going to watch it happen. Brandon shows up 37 minutes later. I'm in the garage office watching the security camera feed on my computer when his black Audi pulls into the lot. The car is too nice, too new, bought with money he probably didn't have even before he stole mine. He parks it crooked across 2 spaces, blocking the entrance, and gets out like he owns the place. He's wearing a white dress shirt, partially unbuttoned, and black slacks. Wedding clothes. His hair is a mess, standing up in the back like he's been running his hands through it. Even from the grainy security footage, I can see the rage in the way he moves. He tries the gate first. It's locked. Chain and padlock, the kind that takes bolt cutters or 20 minutes with the right tools. He rattles it hard enough that the whole fence shakes. "Dad!" His voice carries across the lot, sharp and furious. "I know you're in there. Open the gate." I don't move. He rattles it again. "Open the goddamn gate or I'll kick it down." He won't kick it down. The gate is steel reinforced, set in concrete, but he pulls on it anyway, throwing his weight against it like force of will is going to make it budge. It doesn't. "Fine." He steps back, pulling out his phone. "You want to do this the hard way? We'll do it the hard way." My phone rings. "Brandon." I don't answer. He calls again. Again. On the 4th call, I pick up. "What do you want, Brandon?" "Open the gate." "No." "Open the gate or I'm calling the cops." "Call them. Tell them you're trespassing on private property after stealing $147,000 from your father. See how that goes." Silence on the other end. I can hear him breathing, fast and shallow. "You sabotaged me," he says finally. "The house. The sale. You told them not to go through with it." "I didn't have to tell them anything. The house was never yours to sell." "You never told me it was in a trust." "I didn't know it was in a trust. Your mother set it up before she died. She knew you'd pull something like this. She was smarter than both of us." "That's bullshit. You're lying." "There's a letter in her safe. She wrote it for you, for this exact moment." "I don't believe you." "Then don't believe me. The money isn't coming, and you've got a wedding in 6 hours that you can't pay for." More silence. Longer this time. When he speaks again, his voice is different, smaller. "You could fix this." "No." "You could wire the money. You've got the business account. You could cover what I owe and what? Pretend you didn't steal from me? Pretend you didn't try to take everything? Pretend you didn't call me 3 days ago and tell me to take care of myself? I'm your son. You're a thief." The words land like a punch. I hear him suck in a breath. "I needed the money," he says. "For the wedding. For my life. For what, Brandon? For impressing people who don't care about you? For throwing a party you can't afford? For playing pretend that you're someone you're not? You don't understand. I understand that you had $147,000 3 days ago, and you blew through it so fast you're already broke. I understand that you lied to your fiancée, lied to her father, lied to everyone around you because you thought you could get away with it. I'm standing now, pacing the small office. I understand that you're standing outside my gate right now begging me to save you from the consequences of your own choices. I'm not begging. Yes, you are. You're begging, and the answer is no." I hang up. He calls back immediately. I don't answer. He calls again. Again. I turn off the ringer and set the phone face down on the desk. On the security feed, Brandon is pacing back and forth in front of the gate. He's shouting something I can't hear through the camera. His face is red. His hands are balled into fists. He picks up a rock from the gravel lot and throws it at the gate. It bounces off with a metallic clang. He throws another one, then another. Then he stops, stands there breathing hard, staring at the gate like it's the only thing standing between him and fixing his life. Finally, he gets back in his Audi, slams the door hard enough that I can hear it from inside the office, and peels out of the lot, spraying gravel everywhere. I watch the security feed until his car disappears down the road. Then I sit down and put my head in my hands. My phone buzzes. Text message. Renee. "Where are you?" "The garage. Brandon just left." "Are you okay?" "Yeah." "Did he try to get in?" "Tried. Failed." "Good. Stay there. I'm coming to you." She arrives 20 minutes later with more coffee and a bag from a Thai place that smells like lemongrass and chili peppers. We eat in the office with the door locked and the security feed pulled up on the computer. "He's spiraling," Renee says, stabbing at her pad thai with a plastic fork. "This is good. This is what we want." "It doesn't feel good." "It's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to work." She pulls out her laptop and opens it. "I've been monitoring social media. Brandon's friends are starting to post about the wedding. A lot of excitement, a lot of photos from the venue. No one seems to know anything is wrong yet." Yet. Renee scrolls through something on her screen. "But it's only a matter of time. Vendors are going to start pulling out. Guests are going to notice. The whole thing is going to unravel in real time." "What if he finds the money somewhere else?" "Where? He doesn't have credit. He maxed out his cards months ago. I checked. His bank accounts are empty except for what he stole from you. Gordon isn't going to give him a loan, not after this morning. His options are gone, Cal. He's out of moves. I push the Thai food around my plate. I'm not hungry. What happens if the wedding gets canceled? He gets humiliated. Tessa probably leaves him. Her family definitely cuts him off. He becomes the guy who stole from his dad and couldn't even throw a wedding. Renee closes the laptop. He becomes exactly what he deserves to be. And if it doesn't get canceled, if he somehow pulls it off, he won't. But if he does? Renee looks at me for a long moment. Then we move to plan B, which is? We press charges. We file a police report. We turn this from a family dispute into a criminal case. We make sure everyone knows exactly what he did and what it cost you. Evelyn didn't want that. Evelyn wanted him to learn a lesson. If he doesn't learn it today, we make sure he learns it tomorrow. She stands up, gathering the empty takeout containers. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I think today is the day Brandon Mercer's world falls apart, and all we have to do is watch. My phone buzzes. Text message from Tyler. Hey man, Brandon is back at the hotel and he's losing it. Tessa is crying. Her dad is yelling. The planner is making calls. I think the wedding might actually get canceled. I show the message to Renee. She reads it and smiles. It's happening. What do we do? Nothing. We wait. We let gravity do the work. My phone buzzes again. Different number. A photo message. I open it. It's a picture of Brandon and Tessa in what looks like a hotel room. Brandon is sitting on the bed with his head in his hands. Tessa is standing by the window, arms crossed, her face blotchy from crying. Someone caught them mid-argument, mid-collapse. Below the photo, a caption. Mercer wedding drama is insane right now. Heard the groom is broke and the whole thing might get canceled. Stay tuned. The photo is already on Instagram, already being shared, already spreading through the network of guests and vendors and strangers who love watching other people's disasters. Jesus, I mutter. Renee looks over my shoulder at the screen. Well, that's faster than I expected. Who sent this? Does it matter? The damage is done. Everyone knows now. My phone buzzes again. Another message, another photo. This one shows the hotel lobby with vendors packing up equipment, a florist carrying boxes, a photographer breaking down light stands. Caption, Yikes, looks like it's really happening. Mercer wedding canceled? Then another message. Another photo. The ballroom, half decorated with hotel staff standing around looking confused. Then another, and another. The messages are coming in faster now, a cascade of gossip and speculation and disaster tourism. People I don't know sending me updates about my son's wedding falling apart in real time. I turn off my phone and set it on the desk. Renee is watching me. You okay? I don't know. This is what you wanted. Is it? You wanted him to understand consequences. You wanted him to feel what he did. This is it, Cal. This is him feeling it. I stand up and walk to the window. The lot is empty except for my truck and Renee's Audi. The sky is still gray. The wind is picking up, carrying the smell of salt and rain. I thought it would feel different, I say. How did you think it would feel? I don't know. Triumphant, satisfying, like justice. And instead it just feels hollow. Renee is quiet for a moment. Then she says, He's still your son. You're allowed to feel conflicted about this. You're allowed to wish it didn't have to happen this way. But it did have to happen this way. Yes, it did. My phone buzzes one more time. I ignore it. Renee picks it up. It's Gordon Vale. I take the phone. Answer. Hello? Mr. Mercer. Gordon's voice is calm. Too calm, the kind of calm that comes right before an explosion. I need to speak with you, in person, right now. About what? About my daughter, about your son, about whether or not there's any way to salvage this disaster before it destroys both of our families. I'm not helping Brandon. I'm not asking you to help Brandon. I'm asking you to help Tessa. She didn't do this. She didn't know. And she doesn't deserve to be humiliated because she fell in love with the wrong man. What do you want from me? 20 minutes of your time. That's all. Meet me at the hotel, service entrance. I promise you won't regret it. I'm not coming to the hotel. Then I'm coming to you. Give me your address. I look at Renee. She's shaking her head. Fine, I say. The garage. Mercer Towing and Recovery. You have GPS? I'll find it. He hangs up. Renee is staring at me. What are you doing? I don't know, but I want to hear what he has to say. Cal, he's not the enemy here, Renee. His daughter is marrying my son. We're about to be family, whether we like it or not. I owe him a conversation. You don't owe him anything. Maybe not. But I'm giving him one anyway. Gordon Vale arrives 38 minutes later in his black Mercedes. He parks next to my truck and gets out like he's walking into a boardroom instead of a gravel lot surrounded by chain-link fence. I unlock the gate and let him in. We stand in the garage bay with the Ram between us, and Gordon gets straight to the point. The wedding is falling apart, he says. Brandon can't pay. Vendors are pulling out. Tessa is devastated, and I have a choice to make. Which is? I can let it collapse. Let Brandon face the consequences. Let my daughter learn a hard lesson about trusting the wrong person. He pauses. Or I can write a check, cover the balance, save the wedding and my daughter's dignity. And you're here because? Because I want your opinion. Do you think your son deserves to be saved? The question hangs in the air between us like smoke. I think about Brandon, about the phone call 3 days ago, about the empty accounts and the stolen money, and the way he said, "Take care of yourself," like I was already gone. I think about Evelyn's letter. Let him fall. Let him hit bottom. I think about the boy he used to be, the one who brought me coffee, the one who helped me in the garage, the one who called me dad like it meant something. No, I say finally. I don't think he deserves to be saved. Gordon nods slowly. Neither do I. But Tessa does. She's a good person, Mr. Mercer. She works hard. She loves her family. She believed Brandon when he told her he could provide for her. She believed in the life he promised. That's not my problem. No, but it could be your opportunity. I narrow my eyes. What are you talking about? Gordon leans against the workbench. I'm going to write the check. I'm going to save the wedding, but not for Brandon, for Tessa. And in exchange, I want something from you. What? I want you to press charges. I want you to file a police report. I want you to make sure that when this wedding is over and the pictures are posted and everyone goes home happy, Brandon faces what he did, legally, publicly, permanently. The words land like a bomb. You want me to send my son to jail so your daughter can have her fairy tale wedding? I ask. I want your son to face consequences so my daughter understands that actions have results. I want her to see that stealing from your family is not acceptable. I want her to know that I will not tolerate dishonesty or theft, even from the man she loves. Gordon's eyes are hard. And yes, I want her to have her wedding, because she's earned it, and because I'm not going to let your son ruin the happiest day of her life just because he's a thief. I stare at him. You're serious. Completely. And if I say no, then I don't write the check. The wedding collapses. Tessa's heart breaks. And you get what you want. Your son humiliated in front of 300 people. But you lose the chance to make sure he actually learns something from this. I turn away, pacing the length of the garage. My boots echo on the concrete. Why do you care if he learns something? I ask. Why not just cut him loose? Cancel the wedding? Tell Tessa the truth? Save your money and your time and your family the trouble? Because Tessa loves him, and I love Tessa. And I'm not going to break her heart unless there's absolutely no other choice. Gordon's voice softens. I'm trying to find a way for both of us to win here, Mr. Mercer. A way for Tessa to have her wedding and for Brandon to face justice. A way that doesn't destroy two families in the process. You're asking me to send my son to jail. I'm asking you to hold him accountable. There's a difference. I think about it. About the transaction history. About 5 months of small thefts building up to one big one. About Brandon standing outside this gate 2 hours ago, throwing rocks and demanding I save him. About Evelyn's letter. Let him fall. If I do this, I say slowly, if I press charges, what happens? The police investigate. They see the evidence. They file charges. Brandon gets arrested, probably after the wedding. He gets booked, spends a night or two in jail, post-bail. Then it goes to court. And he probably pleads out, pays restitution, does community service, maybe some probation, but he has a record, a permanent reminder that stealing has consequences. That doesn't sound like justice. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, and it's better than letting him get away with it completely. I walk back to the workbench where Renee left her briefcase earlier. Inside is a copy of the transaction history, 47 pages of evidence, proof of everything Brandon did. I pull it out and hand it to Gordon. Show this to the police when you file the report, I say. It's a complete record of every withdrawal, every transfer, every theft. It goes back 6 months. Gordon takes the document and flips through it. His expression darkens with every page. He's been stealing from you since June, he says quietly, since before he even proposed to Tessa. Jesus Christ, Gordon closes the folder. Does she know? I don't think so, but she should. I'll tell her after the wedding. Why wait? Because I'm trying to give her one good day before her world falls apart. One day where she can be happy and in love and believe that everything is going to be okay. Gordon tucks the folder under his arm. One day before she realizes she married a criminal. We stand there in silence for a long moment. Finally, Gordon extends his hand. Do we have a deal? I look at his hand, at the folder, at the choice in front of me. Save the wedding and press charges. Let Brandon have his perfect day and then destroy him. Give Tessa her fairy tale and then show her the truth. I shake Gordon's hand. We have a deal. Gordon leaves with the transaction history tucked under his arm and a promise to wire the outstanding balance to the vendors within the hour. I watch his Mercedes pull out of the lot, taillights disappearing into the gray afternoon, and I feel like I just signed something I can't take back. Maybe I did. Renee is still in the office when I get back upstairs. She's on her laptop, typing fast, her coffee cup empty and forgotten on the desk. Well, she asks without looking up. He's paying for the wedding. Her fingers stop mid-keystroke. She looks at me. What? Gordon Vale is covering Brandon's balance. The wedding is going forward. And you agreed to this? In exchange for pressing charges. Full police report, criminal case, everything. Renee leans back in her chair. That's it? Huh? I'm processing. She picks up her coffee cup, realizes it's empty, and sets it back down. On one hand, this is smart. Brandon gets his wedding, thinks he got away with it, and then gets arrested. Maximum impact, public humiliation, plus legal consequences. And on the other hand? On the other hand, you just agreed to let your son have a party you weren't invited to, funded by money that should have been his lesson, while you sit here and wait for the police to pick him up. She closes her laptop. How does that feel? Like I made a deal with the devil. Gordon Vale isn't the devil. He's just a father trying to protect his daughter. By bribing me to prosecute my son. By offering you a path to justice that doesn't require you to destroy a wedding full of innocent people who didn't do anything wrong. Renee stands and starts packing her briefcase. Look, Cal, I get it. This isn't what you wanted. You wanted Brandon to crash and burn today. You wanted everyone to see what he did. You wanted the wedding to fall apart in real time. I did. But this might be better. This way, Tessa gets her day, the guests get their party, Brandon gets his moment in the sun, and then tomorrow, when the pictures are posted and the thank you notes are being written, the cops show up and arrest him for grand larceny. I sit down in the chair she just vacated. It's still warm. You think this is the right move? I think there is no right move. I think every option here is messy and complicated and painful. But at least this way, you're not the bad guy. Gordon is the one paying. Tessa is the one who gets her wedding. You're just the victim who filed a police report. Clean, simple, legal. Nothing about this is simple. No, but it's the best we've got. She zips her briefcase shut. I need to go file the report. I'll do it this afternoon so it's on record before the wedding even starts. That way, when Gordon shows the transaction history to the cops, it's already part of an active investigation. What do I do? You go home, you eat something, you sleep, you let this play out. I can't just sit around and wait. Yes, you can. Because if you go anywhere near that wedding, if you make any move that looks like you're trying to interfere or cause a scene, it undermines everything we're trying to do here. And you have to stay away, Cal, completely away. I know she's right, but the thought of sitting in my house, the house Brandon tried to sell, while he gets married in a ballroom full of flowers and champagne makes my skin crawl. I don't know if I can do that, I say. Renee crouches down so we're eye level. You can, because this isn't about what you want anymore. This is about making sure Brandon faces real consequences, legal consequences, the kind that follow him for the rest of his life. And if you blow that because you can't stay away from a wedding you weren't invited to, then all of this was for nothing. She's right. I hate that she's right. Okay, I say finally, I'll stay away. Good, she stands. I'll call you after I file the report. In the meantime, turn on your phone. People are going to be texting you. Let them. Don't respond, but let them think you're seeing the messages. We want Brandon to think you're watching. We want him nervous. He already is nervous. Then we want him terrified. She leaves. I hear her Audi start up outside, tires crunching over gravel, and then silence. I sit alone in the office with the security feed pulled up on the computer and my phone face down on the desk. For a long time, I don't move. Then I flip the phone over and turn it on. 47 new messages. I scroll through them. Most are from unknown numbers. More disaster tourists. More people gleefully reporting that the wedding is back on, that Gordon Vale saved the day, that Brandon must be the luckiest guy alive. Heard Brandon's wedding is happening after all. Crisis averted, lol. Dude, your ex-future daughter-in-law's dad is loaded. Brandon landed on his feet. Man, I thought the wedding was going to get canceled, but I guess rich people always figure it out, huh? I delete them without responding. Then I see one from Tyler. Yo, Mr. Mercer IDK, what happened, but the wedding is back on. Vendors are coming back. Tessa stopped crying. Brandon is acting like everything is fine. Did you help him? I stare at that message for a long time. Did you help him? The answer is no. I didn't help him. Gordon helped him. Gordon saved him. Gordon made sure his daughter could have her fairy tale day. But Brandon doesn't know that. Brandon probably thinks I caved, that I wired the money, that I came through at the last second because I'm his father, and that's what fathers do. I type out a response. I didn't help Brandon. Someone else did. Send. 3 dots appear. Tyler is typing. Who? Ask him. The dots disappear. No response. I set the phone down and turn back to the computer. The security feed shows an empty lot, an empty garage, an empty world. My phone buzzes. Text from Renee. Police report filed. Case number 2024-11-6847. Detective assigned, Sandra Mendez. She's reviewing the evidence now. Expect a call tomorrow or the day after. I text back. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Then expect a call Friday. What happens now? Now we wait. The wedding happens. Brandon thinks he got away with it. And then the hammer drops. I put the phone away and stand up. The office is cold. The heater hasn't worked right in 3 years, and I keep meaning to fix it, but never get around to it. I grab my jacket from the hook by the door and head downstairs. The garage is quiet. The Ram is still sitting there, hood closed, waiting for me to finish a job I started 4 days ago. 4 days. It feels like 4 years. I open the hood, stare at the engine, pick up a wrench, and I get to work. Because work is the only thing that makes sense right now. Work is simple. Work is fixable. You diagnose the problem, you replace the part, you test it, and it either works or it doesn't. Not like family. Not like sons who steal from you and then get married while you're banned from attending. I lose myself in the Ram's engine for 3 hours. Replace the oil pan gasket, check the timing belt, run diagnostics on the transmission. By the time I surface, it's dark outside and my hands are black with grease and my back is screaming. I check my phone. 63 new messages. I don't read them. Instead, I lock up the garage, get in my truck, and drive home. The house is dark when I pull into the driveway. I sit in the truck for a minute, staring at the place Brandon tried to sell, the place Evelyn protected, the place that's still mine because my wife was smarter than both of us. I get out and unlock the front door. Inside, everything is exactly the way I left it 3 days ago. Coffee cup in the sink, jacket on the back of the chair, mail piled up on the counter. Normal life, frozen in time. I walk through the rooms like I'm seeing them for the first time. The living room with the couch Evelyn picked out in 2003, the kitchen with the table where we had family dinners when Brandon was still in high school, the bedroom where Evelyn died, where I held her hand and promised I'd be okay. I'm not okay, but I'm still here. I go to the bedroom and open the closet. In the back, behind my work boots and winter coats, is Evelyn's safe, the one she told me about in the letter. The combination is my mother's birthday. 4/17/1948. I've never opened it. Until now. The lock clicks. The door swings open. Inside is a stack of papers. Legal documents, the trust paperwork, the LLC formation documents, everything Renee mentioned, and underneath it all, another letter. This one is addressed to Brandon. I pull it out. The envelope is sealed. Evelyn's handwriting on the front. For Brandon. To be opened if he ever steals from his father. She knew. She saw this coming so clearly that she wrote him a letter years in advance. I hold the envelope in my hands and stare at it. I could open it, read it, see what she wanted to say to him, but it's not for me. It's for Brandon. I put it in my jacket pocket and close the safe. Then I go to the kitchen and make myself a sandwich I don't want. Eat it standing at the counter, wash the dishes, check my phone. 81 new messages now. Most of them are photos, the wedding, the ceremony, the reception. I scroll through them like I'm looking at someone else's life. Brandon in his tux, standing at the altar, looking nervous. Tessa in her dress, walking down the aisle, crying. The kiss, the applause, the first dance, the ballroom, decorated exactly like Tessa's Pinterest board promised. White flowers everywhere, uplighting, a band, a cake that's 6 feet tall. It's beautiful. It's everything a wedding should be. And I wasn't there. I set the phone down and walked to the window. The street is empty. The sky is black. Somewhere 15 miles away, my son is dancing with his new wife, drinking champagne, cutting cake, giving speeches. Somewhere 15 miles away, Brandon thinks he won. My phone rings. I look at the screen. Gordon Vale. I answer. Yeah? It's done. Gordon's voice is low. Background noise behind him. Music, laughter, conversation. He's still at the reception. The wedding happened. Tessa is happy. Brandon is acting like he's king of the world. Good for him. Detective Mendez called me an hour ago. She reviewed the evidence. She's issuing a warrant for Brandon's arrest tomorrow morning. They'll pick him up Friday, probably at his apartment. Okay. I wanted you to know. I wanted you to hear it from me before it happens. Thanks. A pause. Then Gordon says, For what it's worth, Mr. Mercer, I'm sorry it had to be this way. I wish your son was a better man. I wish Tessa had chosen someone who deserved her. I wish you could have been here today. Yeah, me too. But I think we did the right thing. Both of us. We gave Tessa her day, and we made sure Brandon faces what he did. I hope you're right. I am. And Mr. Mercer?